About a year or so ago, GTA 6 was essentially leaked. A lot of content on the internet. I actually had a strike on my channel from Rockstar. They pulled a video down that I did actually watching and reacting to this leaked footage. And we saw quite a bit of the game. And there was an individual that was actually arrested. And just a few days back, I know this is kind of old news, they were deemed unfit to stand trial by psychiatrists. So imagine leaking one of the biggest video games of all time and being deemed unfit to stand trial by psychiatrists. Now, let's get one thing straight. This doesn't mean that this individual got away with it, but we wanted to kind of touch base on this whole situation because this is probably one of the biggest leaks of all time in the video game industry. And it was very interesting to see how much was revealed. I mean, this was an epic event that had developers and gamers freaking like holy crap, what's going on? To imagine the links that this individual did as part of a group of hackers and managed to try to blackmail Rockstar Games and other companies. It was like some stuff out of, I don't know, Mission Impossible or the Italian Job or whatever it was, right? But imagine this. There was a group called I think they're called Lapsis, and they pulled off the ultimate heist ever, literally pun intended with GTA, by leaking top secret gameplay of one of the most anticipated games in the future. It's been a decade since the last GTA. Between GTA 5 and 6, it's been a decade, and people are clamoring for this game. And they essentially pulled the rug out from Rockstar Games, ruined the big reveal that they were planning. This put a wrench in Rockstar Games because now people have seen the game. I mean, we had, I guess it was like 90 video clips of unreleased content that showcased that the game is in Vice City, and some of the characters, it confirmed the two characters, a Bonnie and Clyde situation, and Rockstar Games was not happy about it. We all know how protective Rockstar Games is of their stuff. They're essentially the Fort Knox of the gaming world, and they guard their projects with more secrecy than our government does keeping some cocaine at the White House at this time. This leak, though, forced their hand completely, like where they were like, fuck. And at first it was a little sus whether this was real or not, but when those strikes started coming out from Rockstar, I was like, okay, that confirms this is legit stuff. They had to acknowledge that this footage was indeed leaked footage, and man, leaks, small little leaks, rumor stuff, that's one thing, but when it's on the scale of what this was, they definitely ruined Rockstar's marketing strategy by showing as much stuff as they could from this stuff. And I mean, it was all over the place. And again, like I said, it was a wrench in their plans. And they managed through all this. The big fucking thing about all this is, yeah, the game was shown, the leak was all that, but they managed to get a hold of the source code for GTA 6, the fucking thing that makes the game a game, like the source code, the engine, all right, the lifeblood of any program. It's like their cookbook. You get the cookbook. It's the secret ingredient. This is the Chick-fil-A sauce. This is the Big Mac sauce. This is what makes the game run. And all of the special features, the gameplay mechanics, everything you can think of with GTA 6 was out there. They had the fucking source code. That is what is the most mind-boggling fucking thing about all this, is that this kid had their gaming magic, essentially, and had they released that source code on the scale that they threatened, that would have been huge trouble for Rockstar. Now, luckily, every single authority, FBI, other international agencies, they sprang into action. And it's amazing how fast they were able to get on this. Faster than finding a fucking wanted man, right? There's people, top 10 most wanted FBI fugitives that are still on the run for years, but they managed to protect a video game, and it essentially was a manhunt. And some of the hackers they traced to Brazil, And one individual, the main one, his name was, I guess, Arion, I guess. Not only were they involved with blackmailing Rockstar Games, but they also had a rap sheet of other serious crimes like Nvidia and other things just to name. So this guy was like the one of the troublesome, like troublemakers out of all of this. So they found him. And it's like, wow. Now, let's be honest. Something on this scale normally would put somebody behind bars for quite some time. Quite some time. Lots of money also being spent in fines. Now, evidently, this individual, Arion, went through psychiatric assessments, and they were deemed unfit for trial. How psychiatrists figure that out, I have no clue. I can understand if this dude was like an old man and he had dementia and stuff, but evidently this guy had a condition, some kind of mental disorder or condition, probably autism. Let's be fucking honest here, not trying to discredit that, but essentially the consensus here, and the same thing with the article that I pulled up, is that their social skills were affected and that they had no general idea of what is right or wrong and understanding consequences for what they've done. Basically, they're completely unaware of what the scale of consequences were with what they've done. Basically, they couldn't tell real life and internet life. And that kind of describes a lot of internet trolls, a lot of internet autists, to be honest, because a lot of people like to hide behind the, oh, it's just internet type of excuse when they try to dox people, swat people, and start things. So maybe this individual is that type of person where they didn't think trying to blackmail Rockstar Games and all the other companies that they tried to fraud was a problem because, oh, it's just internet. They weren't able to distinguish the differences between consequences. So I don't know. Alongside the criminal charges, this kid is probably going to be facing a lot of civil lawsuits. They're going to be swimming in financial troubles for ages. Don't think just because they're not going to trial that they're not going to be punished. They're absolutely going to be sued for damages caused to Rockstar Games and the other companies. They essentially ruined their life. They didn't luck out. Now, sure, they're not going to be in front of a jury and stuff like that. Maybe a judge might be a little bit more lenient if it's just them, the judge, and the lawyers. But they're not lucked out. They're still going to be facing consequences. 110%. This isn't some kind of Hollywood movie where this hacker's like all, sitting in his room and he's able to hack the mainframe and get his grades changed from his high school like Ferris Bueller. No, this dude definitely exploited weak spots in security of company systems. Like, he went through security measures. Who knows what other private info he was privy to? It's actually really interesting when you think about how easy it was. I guess essentially he contacted the help desk to some of these companies, got information leaked in, and somehow was able to circumvent cybersecurity. And I don't know. Definitely an interesting story. I wanted to give my thoughts on it. This kid's going to be in trouble. He ruined his life. People need to really monitor people's internet behaviors and stuff. This guy evidently had nobody teaching him right from wrong. And I believe some people don't deserve to be on the internet because they're fucking wacko. So let me know your thoughts about this, guys, and I will see you on the next one. This was crazy.